Hi guys, I'm Cider, and today begins my journey to take on the mod Axiom. My ultimate goal is to fill an entire creative world with custom biome ideas, and eventually reshape my survival world from the ground up into a unique experience. If you want to learn with me, teach me a thing or two, or just watch me spectacularly faceplant along the way, join my channel to follow along. Wanted to try and get familiar with the gradient tool, and this is my first real attempt at it. I spent forever picking different colors out for the build and saved all my block choices into the little side palette, thinking it would just apply those to the gradient when I go to use it, but that's not exactly how that works. I also have no idea how to really apply the direction of the gradient. I had to try this several times to get it right and just kind of stumbled into it working. I smoothed out a couple of the blocks for the transitioning and ended up with something I was kind of happy with. Overall, if you like it, let me know, and let me know if you have tips in the comments. Here we are again. I'm trying to figure out how to add some water to the build. I tried the flood fill tool a few different times. I'm sure there's a correct way to use this tool, but I just couldn't really figure it out on my own. What I did find out to work though was making a selection and replacing the blocks with water source block. It actually seemed to work pretty well, but it got a little messy around the edges. I'm not sure how to select things properly yet, but I did the exact same thing to clean that up using just drain instead of replace, and that seemed to clean things up pretty good. If you happen to know a better way to work with water or have any other tips, please let me know in the comments. So from my last post you guys saw, we got a little bit of the water in here. This biome is actually meant to be subterranean, so I'm going to be trying to build it to look better in the dark. I go around at first by adding some frog lights by hand, because I'm not really sure if there's a decent way to add a single layer of a specific block in like I am. I also decide to add in some seagrass to kind of hide them, and sea cucumbers to illuminate the water all throughout rather than just along the edges. And then I kind of back it up here to show you a little preview of what it looks like in the nighttime in a darker setting. Let me know what you guys think. See you in the next one. To continue from the last post where I showed you guys the first attempt at lighting this thing up, now we're going to be adding in some glowberries to help brighten up the space that's above the water. I'm not sure if there's really an easier way to place these all over, like maybe a tool with Axiom that I don't know about. So if you guys happen to know of one, please comment it below. Here's a little time lapse with the tick rate sped up to show the glowberries and show them actually come into life. And if you like how this is turning out and you want to see more and help me learn this mod, stay tuned for more. As most of you guys know, this biome idea is meant to be a sort of cave biome. I really want the color transition to kind of move from orange towards a deep blue color up top, and I think adding a little bit of lighting to the sculpt will really help that read better. So this is sort of my first attempt at making a glowing crystal with a sea lantern, and I decided to add some glow lichen on top of it to make it look a little bit more natural and just building the crystal out of glass. If you guys have feedback on this idea or have some other ideas, share them in the comments. For some reason, for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why the water wasn't letting me bone meal it here to add seagrass to the area. For some reason, I thought it was the blocks placed underneath causing a problem, not even really thinking about the fact that the water on top doesn't appear to even be source blocks. I definitely overcomplicated fixing this just to realize that I could solve the whole problem with a water bucket. Share in the comments the time you had to fix something just because you were being silly. Just wanted to give you guys a little preview so far of kind of where we started and where we've ended up on our first attempt with Axiom. Let me know if you guys think the crystals work or not, or if you have any other detail ideas for the surface area of the build. And here's a final cinematic shot to enjoy of the build actually being placed underground. This is what it would actually look like in the atmosphere. And if you guys have any feedback for the channel as a whole, please comment it below. I'm really new to content creation if you can't already tell, and would really love to improve and provide better content for you guys. Okay, seriously, you guys have got to help me make this little light cube that pops up go away. It's always in your face, and it seems to follow you everywhere you go. It's horrible. Like, please help me figure out how to make this thing get away from me. Or is there a button to toggle it off? We got to figure this out. Oh God, I can't even find the ground. This thing really has me messed up. But seriously, I hate this thing. Please help me. And I want to also say again, thank you to all you guys who have been in the comments so far. Having a blast. And seriously, if you guys have any feedback, whether it's for a build or for the channel, please leave it in the comments. If you watch some of my other clips, you know I was going a little nuts over the floating little light box that shows up whenever you're holding a block or item that emits light. I spent some time going through and reading the different settings to finally realize there's a bonus little settings box at the bottom. It looks like a little red toolbox. And in there you can turn off Entity Gizmo, and that will disable the little floating guy that follows you all over the place. So you don't have to go crazy like I did. I wanted to try and add a little bit more life to the area based on suggestions that you guys left in previous clips. So I was attempting to add some glowing mushrooms to the area. My first attempt was a little trapdoor mushroom topped with a skulk sensor. Afterwards, I tried to make a mid-sized mushroom, and let's just say it turned out bad enough that I'm not even going to bother showing it to you. I decided after this one that the original mushroom I did was close to what I wanted. It just felt a little too big. So I moved the skulk sensor down a block and I thought it turned out better, just keeping things simplistic. I tried one more time at a slightly taller mushroom with the trapdoors, a little bit of a different setup with a fence instead. Still was happy sticking with the little guys, kind of littered them around the top parts of the build, and was pretty happy overall how it looked and made this cute little fairy ring in the corner. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I want to start off by apologizing for the huge gap I've had in uploads. I had the flu and my voice had to recover for a little while. But getting back into things instead of keeping you guys waiting any longer, I would say this build is finally where I'd consider complete. So you'll see the rest of it over the next few days, and I hope you've enjoyed the first few attempts I've gone through with Axiom. I want to say a huge thank you to anyone that's helped out along the way or just hung out to see how it goes. I continued lighting things up by adding several more crystals to the surface, as some of you suggested in the comments. I think it helped a ton to brighten up the top layers of the build. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Alright, we're back working on the surface lighting just a little bit more before we finish things up with this. I really liked the little mushrooms we had going, but the end rods are a little bit pale as a light source, and they give me sort of laboratory lighting vibes. So I was messing around with a way to shift the color of the lighting and found out adding some skulk veins around them gives just a slight blue tint to the light. So I peppered them all around, and I think it helped a ton, kind of blending a little bit better into the biome. I will see you guys soon for the final reveal. For the final part of the build, I wasn't really fully happy with the water, so I messed around with different things to see what I could add to spice it up and give just a little bit more life to everything. I ended up going with the skulk sensors that have the amethyst, just to add a little pop of color and some extra lighting to the water. I surrounded each one with lily pads. I thought it was kind of a cool idea, and that the skulk sensors on top of the water looked a little bit like a corrupted lily pad themselves. Overall, I hope you all dig it too, and tomorrow I'll have the final clip for the end of the first project, and we'll be moving on to the next one. Let me know if you have any cool ideas for custom biomes in the comments, and in the future I'll try and see if I can do some that are based just on your guys' ideas.